What's good? Game on, Wisconsin. Here we are on Tuesday. We're a little earlier than normal, but we had a fantastic holiday weekend, and this just fit our schedule. So here we are. We got to talk about week one before it happens. But before we get to that, how was your weekend, Amar? How was that holiday weekend?
Man, it was great, man. Went to New York, went to New Jersey for a little bit, and then saw my brother and his wife and their new kid. They got a boy and a girl. Their girl is 6 months old, Davina. So it was really nice seeing her. And then went to New York City for basically the rest of the weekend and took the girls there and had an amazing time. It was the wife's birthday, so really celebrated that. And it was great, man. I can't complain. Got back yesterday, literally got back and yard work, homework, and then now back to the grind, man. How about you? How you been? How was your weekend?
We played it pretty low key. You know, we walked to the farmers market and just hung around home doing home projects. That's always one of my things on Labor Day is I stay home and I labor and I work on things around the house. You know,
Yeah.
just work on some content and just spending quality time with my kiddo.
Yeah.
I knew too that after this weekend, the job hunt will increase a little bit more, and so it's just I got to absorb all that baby family time while I can because I'll be back in the workforce here shortly. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like one of those things where it's like Labor Day weekend. It's like either you get a lot of stuff done or you just chill and relax, man. Either way, however you enjoy it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But before we jump into this thing here, we got to give a shout out to our official sponsor, Tundra Town Clothing Company. I want you to go check out their shop at tundratownclothingco.etsy.com because then you can get a nice little package like this in the mail. And I'm going to open this bad boy right now. This is our merch here. And so if you want to go check out their shop right now, it's Tundra Town Clothing Co.
Just give you guys a preview. I know Bernie's about to show his care package. I got one of the shirts on right here. It says, 13-time champion, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Fits really nice. And, man, Bernie's about to kind of open it up here and show you what we got. I'm an extra large, and it fits pretty well, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit more like a tighter fit, but it's good though. I like it.
And go check them out on Instagram at Tundra Town Clothing Co. All right, first one up here.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Always the number one pick, Green Bay.
Hell yeah,
Wisconsin. I like the feel of the shirt too.
Yeah, it's a nice
bam, 100% cotton, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Get that polyester crap away from me, man. That's just my personal flavor, man.
Yes, sir.
There's the one Amar's rocking right now. 13 times, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hopefully hopefully Joe over at Tundra Town will get a chance to reprint this one next year. But it'll say 14, baby.
Damn right. That's what Soder just said.
That
shirt's gonna be obsolete. You're damn right.
Ooh, man. Hey, right now too, right? We're honoring this man, right? On this day, right? Mm-hmm. He passed away. We lost him too early. But this is a rad shirt. You got the 2/3 sleeve there.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary. We all know who we're talking about there. My brother's actually going to be cosplaying Vince Lombardi. He coaches a Pop Warner team, and they're going to be in a parade. And the parade has a 1960s theme.
Okay.
And so they're going to dress up as the Green Bay Packers, the Pop Warner team, and my brother, the coach, is going to dress up as Vince Lombardi as they go on the parade. This is going to be in Rothschild, Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's a little tiny farm town out in central Wisconsin, but
damn right, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Green Bay, Wisconsin, tundra struck.
Yes, sir.
If I can get that one out clearly. Green Bay, Wisconsin, tundra struck.
I like
that. I like that. It looks like the AC/DC shirt.
Yep.
I feel like a kid opening his Christmas presents and it's his turn, and the whole family's watching. Another Green Bay, a tradition of excellence, or a Green Bay football tradition of excellence since 1919. I really like this gray color on this one.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Oh yeah, baby.
There it is.
Bears still suck. There it is. I know what game I'm wearing. I know what game I'm wearing that one for. Then there's another, just like the gray T-shirt there. There's a trucker hat, Green Bay, a tradition of football, or Green Bay football, a tradition of excellence.
I like how they like coordinate it too. Like you see it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Two different colors there. And then, last but not least, for your NL Central leading Milwaukee Brewers,
there you go.
The beer, and another 2/3 sleeve shirt. 2/3 sleeve shirt is sluggin' and chuggin'. Milwaukee.
I'm not a Brewers fan, but I like that shirt.
It is a rad shirt. Okay. All right, but hey, go check out that shop. And if you do, throw in our discount code here. It's on the scroller right now. Game on Wisconsin there. Put that in if you go check out. Save yourself 10% on clothing over there at Tundra Town Clothing Company. But yeah, man, you're gonna be rocking this gear on Coast to Coast all season long. So you're gonna have to hear us talk about Tundra Town because we approve of this product. Like I said, shirts are 100% cotton. They're locally printed in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So when you buy these shirts, you're supporting a local family business. You're supporting a local printing company as well. All right, I'll get off my pedestal, man. All right. And just a special thank you again to Joe, though, over at Tundra Town for that awesome merch package there, man. Thank you so much. And we're going to get that more contact info for that and more ways you can find Tundra Town.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, man, week 1 preview. I'm trying to think where to start. And maybe before we get on the field and talk about the game, is there anything maybe beyond the game right now, right? We're playing in Brazil.
Okay.
There's, news out there and things floating around. Some of the players are expressing concern, or they're just going to go down there and just play the game and hang out at the hotel and get back. Any thoughts or feelings about all that?
Honestly, no. I'm actually just like, I think the London trip was where they made it very business-like. They wanted to partake more, and they kind of did. They got some soccer games in. They kind of enjoyed the sights and sounds a little bit. But that was in the middle of the season, right, where they kind of had gotten themselves into the groove, and then they had to go, overseas, right? This is a little bit different. I think this being week 1 is the best thing for us because you don't have the normal routine set in just yet. Right. And so they can truly keep this a business trip. They go there, they knock out the game, they come home, and then they get right into the groove. And the good thing is, like, game's done Friday night. They're probably going to fly out Friday night or Saturday morning, knowing them. You know what I'm saying? They don't waste much time. And they're not going to probably stay there another night. They're probably going to get back to Green Bay Saturday sometime.
Yeah, they already expressed how they're like the favorite thing about this game is that it's Friday night, and it's just like you're right. They want to get the frick back because then it's like you're grabbing an extra day or a day and a half in there compared to all the other guys' recovery for the week 2.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. Like hopefully I have all the confidence in the world they're going to come away with a win. So that ride back is going to be extremely enjoyable. And you know what? They can rest, recuperate. They might get a day off because of the victory. And from there, they kind of hit the ground running and get back into the hustle and bustle and the grind of the NFL season. And they get that, not a mini bye, but kind of, because again, a couple of days off than they normally would, right? Yeah. And then they don't have a bye week until week 10, so they got this will kind of set them up. And then I think they do have a Thursday game before that, which you're getting that little mini bye week, right? So
Yeah.
I think beyond the game, I'm not really trying to look too much into the whole like the crime and all this and that. Like, you know what? Like, I think any major city, it doesn't matter if it's nationally or internationally, they're all going to have pockets of areas that are not great, right? I don't think like even I mean, look, I'm in the DMV area. I'm in Leesburg, Virginia, right? So I'm like 35 minutes out from DC. That's the nation's capital, right? There's parts that are amazing. There's parts that, it's got to be a little careful, right? I think that you go to any foreign country, I don't care where it is, right? It could be a European country, it could be a South American country, it doesn't matter. There's going to be areas where you walk down the wrong alley and it's just a bad situation. Doesn't matter where you are. So, I know a lot of that was made up. A lot of hoopla was made out because of that. I think the biggest thing about this Brazil trip is the ongoing battle between the government of Brazil and Elon Musk regarding, Twitter and X. So it'll be interesting to see how news is coming out of Brazil if you're utilizing social media and you're using X for that, because a lot of the beat writers are going. And so I'm only going to be interested to see, like, I know some of them said they're going to probably utilize threads and things like that. I know Nagler says he's going to use threads. So, we're going to have to find different ways of getting our news. But hey, man, it's a little surreal to me that it's already September. This year went by really fast. And I cannot believe that we have a game this Thursday night. We play Friday. And I think the one thing that's cool about Friday game is that on Sunday, us avid football watchers, we can enjoy watching football and not be completely stressed out about our team.
Yeah. It's going to be a great weekend.
Hell yeah, man.
Right? Yeah. Packers Friday night. Then I got my Badgers playing in the middle of the day Saturday. And then Sunday, it's just a stress-free NFL viewing. My only thoughts about beyond the game is I know there were some wildfires out there in Brazil, man. I hope they get that under control. Never like hearing about anything like that or natural disasters for that matter. So let's get on the field though now. That's what the people are here for. Yeah, and let's talk about this Packers offense versus this Eagles defense. Just pick a spot and start with it, man, and we'll get into this matchup here.
I think one of the factors about the defense that we're going to be going up against is a Vic Fangio defense. I think that Joe Barry, he wasn't a Vic Fangio disciple, but he was definitely trying to mimic that for his 3.5 years in Green Bay. Because he was a disciple of Brandon Staley, who was a direct disciple of Vic Fangio, right? And so because of that, I think one of the things that comes to that defense is having a very strong secondary. And I know the Eagles secondary is banged up right now. James Bradbury, who is a starting corner for them, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. You got, Cooper DeJean, who didn't really get much training camp in because he had a really bad hamstring injury. So he is healthy, but is he up to speed, right?
Yeah.
Their linebackers, as great as they are when it comes to Kobe Dean and it comes to Devin White, one has injury issues. The other one, both of them have injury issues. I know Devin White has a hamstring issue right now. But truth be told, that defense has a lot of marquee names. And I think LaFleur said it best about the defensive line, Jordan Davis and what's his name? Carter. Oh, my God. What's his first name?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Thank you. A freak. He called him a freak. And he said that he said, I mean that in the most endearing way possible. I don't blame him because he is a freak. And having those two guys, like they lost Fletcher Cox last year to retirement and Jason Kelsey, but man, they're not missing a step with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter at all.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a really, really, really good test for our offensive line.
Absolutely.
Our interior offensive lines. I mean, what are you thinking? I can keep going, but what do you feel?
It's funny that you actually bring that up because that on my show on Sunday, that was my X factor for the game is the matchup of a kind of our offensive line and that defensive line.
Right.
And so that was something that came up on our X factor segment. And so what are they going to get out of this defensive line? Because they know they were really good last year, but they fizzled out. The whole Eagles defense fizzled out at the end of last year.
Yeah.
So they've tried to rebuild, their secondary, and this defensive line is scary
Yeah.
at times, and they could eat if we're off our game. So this is a big matchup the whole game, and we haven't been given a definite of who's starting at right guard yet, or
I
is
think
that
it's going to be
still
Sean Ryan right now. And I know
okay?
Andy Herman had broached a question to LaFleur about a week ago, a few days ago, about like, are you going to rotate again like you did last year, Runyon and Ryan? And LaFleur said, hey, that's a very good observation. I like that idea. So he said that. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see Morgan and Ryan kind of rotating a lot.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that quarterbacks, like if you remember, like, Tom Brady would always say that, like, hey, outside tackles, like, like getting pressure from the outside is one thing, but it's the interior pressure that really makes a difference, right?
yeah,
And if your offensive guards and your center aren't on point, you could be in for a long day. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? Your run game is very predicated on that too, right?
yeah.
And seeing how their defensive line is built up with those two freak shows in the middle, it reminds me of back in the day when you had John Henderson and what's the other guy for Jacksonville? Do you know what I'm talking about? The defensive tackle? There was those two defensive tackles that were just absolute monsters over in Jacksonville, right? And so their interior push was just insane. That's what I'm concerned about, because I have no problems with Elton. I think Elton's going to do his job, right? Sean Ryan's going to need to step up, and Josh Myers, this is his put up or shut up year, right?
Yeah.
And people did say that Jacob Monk did look better every single preseason game. They said that he improved as the training camp preseason went on. So I don't know how long that leash is going to be for Josh Myers, but man, I'm just I think Walker and Tom are going to be in for they're going to earn their money tonight. I mean this week, right? But that interior needs to really play to their part, because if Jordan can't get any time and he's getting pressure in his face right out the pipe, I mean Jordan, he can make plays inside outside the pocket. That's the one thing I'm very worried about, is how Josh Myers and Sean Ryan hold up against that, against those freak shows, honestly.
Yeah. He's Soder saying Jaden Reed is going to light them up.
I can see that. Yeah.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
Because especially if you get a Jaden Reed, Cooper DeJean matchup, and then you got, Quinion Mitchell, right? He's probably the better of those two rookies back there.
Yeah.
But yet he's still a rookie. You know, I feel like with that youth back there and our wide receiver core, they're scheming right now and how to get mismatches out there in that secondary. And I could see Jaden Reed being one of those guys that feasts. Or I thought to myself, they're going to draw something up, and Dontavian Wicks is going to have a huge game, right? And everyone that drafted him in fantasy is going to be like, oh, I knew it. But then after that, it's going to go back to like what typically a fourth, a really good fourth receiver would have. He's going to have a couple huge games this year, though, no doubt about it. So
they said Dobbs' hand is hurt too. He had a contusion on his hand, but based on what Rob Demoski had put, is that he interviewed and he quoted him. He's like, yeah, I busted my hand, I got a contusion, but I was able to do everything I needed to do today. So I said, okay, cool. He was limited, but he was still in practice. I feel like you're gonna have probably Cooper and Quinn and Mitchell on the outside, right? They're gonna play Darius Slay in the slot. I just think Cooper DeJean is a boundary corner all day, right? Quinn and Mitchell, you could play him anywhere. You could play him inside, you could play him out, right? So they might interchange him and Darius Slay a lot. Like you said, I couldn't agree more. They're going to find ways to scheme open. And there was something that they said. I heard Watson's interview yesterday, right? It was probably from the day before. This will be the first opener that he is available for. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not trying to talk bad about the man. I'm just saying that because, when he was a rookie, he had the knee injury when he came in, I think. And then the following year, he had a knee and hamstring thing that he had to get through. So both openers he missed, right? So this will be his first opener that we have. I just remember that Detroit game in Thanksgiving where they opened up a shot play to him. And I want to see some. And then, Vikings game. That's not right, though. Is that right? Because in Minnesota opener, he was there. That's not right.
Yeah.
Wait, did they play Minnesota week 1? Yeah, didn't they?
Yeah, because he dropped the ball, right? It was
Yeah.
okay,
Whoever told me that was wrong. My bad, guys. My bad.
It was
My
the
bad,
first
dog.
snap, first snap of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm an idiot, man. My bad. Oh, my fault. My fault. I fucked up on that. So
You might be you might be confusing him with someone else.
thank you, Soder. Yeah, see, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. All right, you know what? So he wasn't available for last opener.
Yeah.
Last year, but he's available for this one. It's my fault. I knew I said it, and I'm saying it. I'm thinking like there's something that's not right about that statement.
Yeah.
But it's all good though. You know what? We're gonna have him. I can't wait to see what he does in Brazil. And you know what, man? This is Jordan Love's time to shine. I hope he doesn't try to push it, if you know what I'm saying. Sign this big contract. You know, there's all this hype. He has all this pressure. Dude, just go out there and play your game. That's all you got to do. Because that's what you did for the last 10, 11 weeks of the season last year, and you killed it. Just do what you do. That's it. Just do what you do.
Yeah, man. Something I'm low key excited for in this offense is, you know, Emmanuel Wilson's gonna be coming in as RB2. Yeah. Right. I expect Jacobs to take, you know, a heavy majority of the snaps. Right. Obviously, he's gonna take majority of the snaps back there, but it might be a heavy majority. Yeah. But I'm hoping, you know, to see some, you know, a drive, you know, with Emmanuel Wilson in there, getting some touches. I guess I'm just kind of, you know, I was pumped for him last year in the preseason, and here he is now. He's put the work in, and I'm excited to see what he can contribute on opening night in such a big spot, man.
Hell yeah, man. I that's another thing too, Josh Jacobs, right? I think like after the year that he had last year, I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder to prove a point. And I don't think I ever will count that man out based on everything he's been through. I would never count him out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. This will be a great test. End of the day, it'll be a great test. But I do know that LaFleur seems to have had like an inside track when it comes to Vic Fangio defenses. He knows just how to play. He knows how to play them.
So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's going to be a high scoring. I think the Packers are going to put some points up in this one, and you know, you pointed out what might predict or make the outcome of this game is that defensive line of the Eagles. Yeah. And how are we going to hold up with them? Just, I guess that's kind of 101, right? Games won or lost in the trenches there. But another matchup we got to talk about, though, then, right, is this Packers defense versus the Eagles offense.
Hell yeah.
And this is where I have more questions or worries. You know, I feel like the offense is going to do just fine. The Eagles defense will get their splash plays. Ultimately, we're going to put points up. Here, though, is can we stop the ground game of the Eagles? That's
mind meld, baby. Mind meld. That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Exactly where I was going.
So get into it. Get into it, Amar. What do we got to do to stop this ground game?
All I'm going to say is they better hold these Bama's to less than 300 yards rushing. That's all I got to say. There is no excuse why. Like, I heard Jeff Hafley in his interview just recently. I tell you, every time that man talks, he makes you want to run through a freaking wall. And I get it. Like, it could all be all coach speak. It could be all just this and that, whatever. But, man, I'm just down. I'm just down to see what Hafley got to offer because – you know, based on a guy named Cody Carpenter, who does a lot of great work breaking down film, breaking down defense and stuff like that. He works with the Cheesehead TV a lot. He explained that it was a very, very, very vanilla defense that we were seeing in the preseason when it came to just the way they did it, right? A lot of cover one, cover two, cover three. That's it. They were basically cover two the whole damn time, you know? So I cannot wait to see how he mixes it up. And I do believe you have to make them one-dimensional. You have to stop the run. You have to find a way. I mean, when we played them, we were playing up against DeAndre Swift and Jalen Hurts, right? And they were just eating us up, okay? Now they got Saquon Barkley. And I'm just like, dude, like you talk about generational talent. Yeah, he's had some injuries, but his talent is undeniable, right? Yeah. And you need to find a way to corral him and Jalen Hurts. And I'm not trying to say Jalen can't throw the ball. I'm not saying that. But I definitely do think that you have to try to put the ball in his hands to try to throw to win the game. Like we need to be scoring on offense. We need to get stops on defense, and we need to keep them in long, like second and long, third and long. Because you remember what happened that game in 2022? They're going for it on 4 downs. Like every time they were getting 2 yards in the first down, 3 yards on the second down, another 3 yards on the third down. They were 4th and 2, and they're like, all right, shit, we're gonna go for it. And what happened? Tush push, they get it, or they run it or do whatever, and they get it every single time. So you have to really send the pressure after them in whatever way you need to. I know based on what I heard last year was like with the Eagles was like if you pressure them, like you blitz them a lot, you can get them off their game, right?
Yeah.
And it got proven at the end of the year, right? I hate to say it, they're like 8-1, and they finished up 1 and 8 and like they were like 10-1.
They were,
what was it?
I think maybe like 8-1, and then they finished like 10-7 or something.
Yeah, like they had a really bad losing streak at the end of the game, and they lost to the Cardinals, they lost to the Seahawks, they lost a lot of like teams that you wouldn't expect them to lose to, and it came down to where they're really setting the pressure after that offense, right? So this will be a great opener for both sides of the field, right? You get to see what Jordan Love's all about in that offense, see if they can hit that ground running like they keep talking about, and if Hafley can back up what he's been saying since he was hired.
Yeah. We got to see Quay. Quay's got to be all over the field, I think, making plays.
Yes.
And then with Jalen Hurts out there, I hope to see Van Ness getting a good amount of snaps after seeing him chase down Fields last year.
Yeah. Fields is faster than Jalen Hurts, too. I'm no disrespect to Jalen Hurts, but he ain't no field speed, dog. Give respect to Fields for that.
So I feel like Van Ness out there getting snaps, chasing down Hurts. We got to have our speed out there on the defense because, I still have nightmares of freaking Kaepernick in the playoffs, man. Just quarterbacks running away.
Bro, you ain't lying, dog. You are not lying.
Helpless, man. Oh, man. But this defense, it's big, man. It's a big task. I think they can do it. This Eagles wide receiver core, man. They added Jahan Dotson, right? They got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith as receivers there. That is a solid top 3. The weapons are there too.
Are no joke.
For Hurts.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that we need to do. Almost just like the Eagles defensive line, the Packers defensive line, is we got to go after Cam Jurgens, right? There is no more Kelsey in the middle of that line. And he was like the captain of that offense, calling out blitzes and calling out defensive coverages and stuff like that. Jalen Hurts has got to put way more into the game now upstairs. He's got to be the guy calling out those blitzes, those coverages. Making the audibles, right? Kelsey was kind of there facilitating a lot of that support is not there anymore. Is Cam Jurgens apparently was hand selected by
I think Kelsey had some input on that too.
By Kelsey, and so we'll see though. There's going to be a big transition there. So I want to see Kenny Walker feast tomorrow, right? Yes. Carl Brooks feast, right? I think if we can get into that interior that interior line, disrupt that interior offensive line, and maybe send Quay on some a blitz gaps there. I think that's how we're gonna we gotta attack this offense. Push, we're gonna disrupt the running lanes by doing that, and then you're gonna push Hurts out of the pocket as well. But that's kind of the matchup where I think we need to really attack in this spot here.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think the biggest thing is that interior push on our side too, right? Yeah. Like, if I recall correctly, their offensive line, their tackles are like ours. Like, no, okay, I shouldn't say that. They have all pro tackles, right? Mailata, and they got Johnson on both sides, right? Our tackles are young, but they're pretty damn good, but they're not that level yet. And when it comes to interior, Landon Dickerson's no joke. I don't know if I put up to Elton Jenkins level, but he's pretty good. Jurgens, like you said, is the question mark. And their guard is also a question mark. Right? Who's their guard? Do you remember who the guard is for them?
The one that's injured, or
no, the one that's starting now. Shit.
Is it Becton or Dickerson?
Dickerson, I thought was a left guard, right?
Left guard.
So,
Dickerson's left guard, and Mecca Becton.
oh, they got Becton. That's right. I forgot all about Becton. They're playing him at right guard. That's right. That's right. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. But he's been suspect on the outside playing a tackle. So it'll be interesting to see if he does what like Packers have done so many times with tackles that go inside and thrive, like the Josh Sittons, the TJ Langs of the world. So maybe that happens with Becton. But like you just said, this is the time to see Wyatt, Slayton, and Clark feast. I completely agree.
Yeah. And whether, they don't even need to be stacking up the stats, tackles or sacks. They just got to be disruptive.
Yep.
So Barkley, you got to get him off his point of attack and push Hurts out of the pocket. Like we said, though, we know Hurts can make plays out of the pocket, but I feel like we have the speed out there on the field to chase him down. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a fun one. And I expect the Eagles to put up some points as well. But turnovers, man, right? Over-under segment, right, that I put up yesterday, right? We're saying 25 plus turnovers on the season. We both went over on that. We only had 18 last year. Yeah. It starts Friday night. I feel like we need 2. This defense needs 2 turnovers to feel I feel like to secure that W.
I agree with that. I like that a lot. I think seeing what our secondary can do. McKinney has a lot of experience playing the Eagles when he's time with the Giants. So I feel like he may get one. And then I don't know how often they're going to test Ja, but let's be real. Like the matchup of the night is probably going to be Jair against who he plays. If he plays up against AJ Brown, that is physicality against technical, right? Yeah. And then if he goes up against Devontae Smith, that would be a match in heaven because I'm telling you right now, those 2 guys are like the best of their craft when it comes to Devontae and the way they're both technicians, right? Yeah. So it'll be definitely our secondary is gonna really have their work cut out for them. But I think that this would be a good challenge for them because they're gonna play other offenses that are gonna be semi-stacked like this. So they got to be ready.
So do you think, because I know at times fans have begged for it, and I think Ja has expressed interest in it too, getting matched up on the number 1 guy, no matter what, all game. Do you think that's what we finally deploy, or do you think it's like, well, we'll put him on A.J. Brown like 75% of the snaps and then Devontae like 25% of the snaps?
You know what? I truly do believe that when it comes to Halfley, he just seems like the kind of guy that listens to his players a lot. So whatever Ja tells him, he said, hey, coach, I got this. That's what they're probably going to do. I think that everything that Ja's invested this offseason and training camp, everything, and just showing not the coaches that he's 100% locked in, but also they can trust him to do what they need him to do. I think that, I would love to see him shadow whoever they want him to shadow. I basically want him to play his game, whatever that game is, inside, out. I don't care. Whatever Ja wants to do, you let him do it because he is probably one of your best defensive players on the field. And he's not a dumb guy. Like he knows exactly what to do. He knows where to go. He knows who to cover. And like when he's played at his top game, he's locked down the best receivers in the league, right? So I'm okay with wherever I have full faith that Halfley is going to be able to utilize him properly to where you're not going to have that like, oh, I'm just playing on the outside boundary 10 yards off every freaking play, right? Yeah. I'm hoping to God I don't see that. I mean, no.
I'm there with you. If I have to watch that multiple snaps in a row,
no.
I don't think we'll see it. I hope not.
I hope not. Let's not even speak that into the ether. Let's not speak into existence. Let's just see what happens.
and let's talk about something. One more thing about this Packers defense. I want to make sure that I bring up and we feel out. And maybe if any listeners out there want to throw down their opinion right now, is right going into this game, right? Isaiah McDuffie is listed as the other starting backer.
Yeah.
So thoughts, feelings about that right now? Is that something that's just because like Coop wasn't ready.
I think so. I
You
think so.
know, so
He's limited in practice too, so he's still coming back from his hip injury, right? But him and Isaiah and Eric Wilson are kind of listed as the stars with Quay. I'm fine with that, having a veteran presence out there, especially with a guy like Isaiah McDuffie who has experience in this defense already. So if you're going to have him out there just because he's going to be assignment sure, sign me up. And something that Halfway did say too about Isaiah was that every single film that you see, every play you see Isaiah McDuffie on, he is around the football. Yeah. There's never been a tougher or more high energy player than McDuffie is what he says, right? I agree. Like every time you saw his butt running around, being around the ball. So I'm down with it. I thought it was kind of crazy at first, but it makes sense because limited work that Cooper's got in. Hopper's been getting some work. I just don't think he is. I don't think he is where Isaiah is when it comes to just the knowledge of the defense. Just yet.
Hopper is really raw, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But Eric Wilson is also listed as a starting backer. Do you think he, how like he's listed as a starter? How many snaps do you think he plays? Percentage wise, and do you think there's other packages? Because it's like, is he really one of our best defensive players, or is there other packages that we're going to put out there with our safeties and DBs and all defensive linemen that doesn't include Wilson? Not trying to throw shade at Wilson or anything.
No. I get it. I get it. I think it matters how much nickel they play. Like, are they going to play base 4-3, or are they going to stick with a nickel defense, right? Where they got two linebackers out there, and if they do that, then that's going to be interesting to see how he gets on the field if he does. I would say about 25-30% for Eric Wilson, primarily because of the fact that he is one of your key contributors on special teams. So you got to be careful about, winning him too much. I agree with Soder. I want Bullard out there no matter what. From what I call, he is the starting safety opposite of Xavier McKinney, which is perfectly fine with me. If he eventually takes over the nickel job, and then you got Evan Williams out there with McKinney, and you got Jair, Carrington, in a split between Carrington Valentine and Eric Stokes, hey, sign me up. We are at a point now where our defense, when it comes to our secondary, we have an abundance of riches. And knock on wood, when it comes to injuries, you never know what's going to happen. So, hey, I want the best 11 out there on both sides of the field. And
absolutely,
that's my biggest thing. End of the day, I don't care who's out there as long as they do what they're supposed to do. I think that was like our biggest complaints for so many years. It was like defensively, you didn't know what the hell they were doing or if it made any sense.
Yeah.
And then offensively, you just need to get on the same page, really. That's what it came down to.
Yeah. Some of my thoughts and feelings, I guess, like expectations wise for this defense too, is as we're talking about this, I'm sitting here thinking, with the amount of youth that's going to be out there getting big snaps and a new system, I feel like there's going to be some lapses and there's going to be some big plays. The Eagles are going to score some points. But what I'm hoping is that we see some splash plays. We see some, some punts by the Eagles.
Right.
And just hope that you see them flying around with high energy and being aggressive and just being focused and in the game, holding their composure, right?
100%.
This is kind of what you see, like I can understand and accept the mistakes if they're playing, aggressive and they're keeping it together out there, and so this defense is a work in progress. And my statement on it from the time they hired Halfley is don't expect to see it running smoothly until post bye week. So that's week 10 is the bye. So this is week 1, man. And like you said, Amar, they've been playing, vanilla this preseason.
Yeah.
So this is the first time full game speed we're going to see the true defense. So fans, be patient.
I'm
be
ready.
Patient, everyone.
Let's go.
Be patient.
Let's go.
But as Packers fans, there's another topic that we have to bring up. Whenever we have an episode about a game or practically any episode, special teams concerns. How you feeling about this It sounds like the new kicker brought in some mojo. So
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. So Soder nailed it right here. We cannot let Cooper DeJean take anything to the house. Plain and simple. That's the first thing. Okay.
Yeah. Good call.
When it comes to the debacle that we want to call the kicking situation, everyone knows I had no love for Anders Carlson. He was a terrible kicker in college. I think he averaged 71% in college. And then he came into the NFL, wasn't that much better at 81%. Okay. This Braden Narvison guy, he was 78% in college, but at 3 different schools. At one school, he was in the 90s. Okay.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
in his defense, he was 100% for extra point kicks. Now, obviously, extra points in college are different.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, when it came to the gimmies, he knocked them in.
Shouldn't that be like a measuring stick, though? Where like, oh, you missed extra points in college? Like, we're not using a giraffe pick on you.
No, that's just not like, bro, like, even with Carlson, it was like one of those things where it's like he was 71% in college. It wasn't like he had like an amazing season and he tore his ACL. No, he was very, very bad to mediocre, tore his ACL, and just never really recovered. He never had like anything like he was consistently in the 60s and 70s. So I don't know what Goody was thinking in drafting him. Like that was hands down a Rich Bisaccia pick, which makes me really question a lot of his decision making because it was nepotism all day. Knew the family, knew the brother, tried to do the same shit. Look out for the younger one. Absolute garbage. Okay. And this Narvison dude, just hearing him speak at his locker a few days ago, he said pressure is a privilege. I love that because it's true. Yeah. To be able to be in these situations where you have pressure, you have an opportunity to succeed, you have fear, you have nervousness, you have the ability to be put on the spot and to either succeed or fail. That is a privilege. And the fact that he knows that and he embraces that, I love that. His wife's family's from Wisconsin, which I think is pretty cool too. And, there's just an attitude about him that I just feel like is just pretty legit. And also, you hear Jaden Reed as he's doing his interview saying he's like that. He's like that. Yeah. And so far he's won the team over. And I think that's pretty cool. Never once did I hear anybody say anything about Andrew Carlson when he was doing his interviews.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's nice to have a kicker with a little riz,
Yeah, man.
And,
hell yeah.
Like, you're a kicker, man. Like, maybe this is our Nigel the Leg Gruff from The Replacements. Maybe this is our man here. Dog. I manifested that. Maybe I put that out there, right?
Right.
I tweeted that when we were looking for a kicker.
Yep, I saw that, and that thing went viral.
So we maybe this is our Nigel Gruff here, is Brandon Narvison, and Soder. He says, "Man, feeling Narvison, right?
I think everybody is, man.
How fantastic would it be if this was the guy kicking in Green Bay for like the next decade or 15 years?
Look, I posted something about Justin Tucker when he was in college, okay? And he was an 81% kicker in college. Also 100% with extra points, okay? And then look what he turned into in the NFL. The best kicker in the league, right? So I got into a JJ Leahy where he was like saying something about like, is there any correlation between good kickers in that college and then them being good kickers in the NFL?
Yeah.
There isn't. If you're a good kicker in college, doesn't mean that you're going to be a good kicker in NFL. It happens, but not always. Right?
The hash marks are different too.
Yes. Yeah. So now, is there a correlation between if you're a bad kicker in college, you're going to be a bad kicker in NFL? I didn't do the research, but I'm going to say probably. And we have proven that with Anders Carlson because he was a bad kicker in college. And so hence NFL, not that great either. Right. And consistency was his problem. It was funny too. If you hear Goody and Rich Bisaccia in their most recent interviews, they both said that, it wasn't that missed kick that they were going to cut him, that they were looking for some consistency with him and they couldn't get it. So I think they were already out on him. Greg Joseph, veteran, but he has been proven to nut up in pressure. Like I've seen him when he was with the Vikings multiple times. And that was kicking indoors. So I don't even imagine how he kicks outdoors, right? So sign me up for this guy. I saw his highlight tapes of him kicking 59 yards back to back, no problem. And he looked good in the preseason. Sign me up, man. I don't care. As long as you make all your extra points and you can make everything from 49 yards and below, sign me up. And anything over 49 yards is icing on the cake. I'm down.
Yeah.
So, hey, bro.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. I'm down. I'll put it this way. Last thing, Rich Bisaccia, hot seat. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's definitely on the hot seat this season. And let's hope, I'm hoping we can see something from this new kick return, rules. It didn't really bother me. Everyone was really like when we first saw it. We're hearing the rules. There was a lot of criticism about it, but then when I was seeing it in the preseason, and I watched more preseason games than I probably ever have before this year. And I was just like, no, man, I still see it as an exciting play. It's safer. There's going to be less higher speed collisions within that play now, but I see that there's still opportunity for returns there. So I'm hoping to see Marshawn Lloyd get a chance maybe at one in Brazil. We'll see how ready he's to go.
I agree. Yeah.
When we get there,
he didn't practice today, but he did practice yesterday. Talking to LaFleur did say that it was precautionary. It wasn't like he had a setback. It was just a precautionary thing.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure they ease him back in, which I'm fine with. And Keyshawn Nixon is our all-pro kick returner and punt returner. If you look at the unofficial depth chart, he's both. So sign me up. I'm down. I know Jaden Reed is the backup to him on punt returns and kick returns, which is great, but I am more focused on Jaden Reed as the offensive player and not as the punt return and kick returner. Right?
Yeah, so, I'm there with you, man. I don't want Jaden Reed out there unless there's an injury and he needs to go do it. And then I feel like if he's punt returning, it's like, dude, unless you think you have a really clear path on the return, just go out there and fair catch the freaking thing.
100%.
Because if he if your returner goes down and then he goes out there and he gets hurt on a return, luckily we have luckily we have a lot of weapons in the wide receiver room, but I don't want to lose any of them.
Not seeing one. I completely agree.
But in this game, it's going to come down to some X factors.
Yeah.
And you can have one, you can have two.
I'll keep it simple. I'll go one. I'm going to go one. I know we all got a hard cutoff here at what you'll call it, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, right? So, or 5 o'clock. Or no, 6 o'clock. Shit. I got my time all messed up. But my X factor is going to be Josh Jacobs. I think that not him as a runner so much as about as a receiver out of the backfield. I want to see, how they do utilize him as a pass catcher. And I feel like with the way that secondary is, normally the running back out the backfield is successful against Vic Fangio defenses. So I am really looking forward to seeing how LaFleur schemes up, not just like everybody else, but he has a new shining toy in Josh Jacobs, a 3-down back who you're hoping, knock on wood, can stay healthy for 17 games plus playoffs and Super Bowl, right? So, hey, that's my X factor. Josh Jacobs is my X factor. I think anything else you say, if I say Jordan, that's obvious, right? So I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah. And I already kind of talked about my X factor. I'm just gonna bring it right back up, and that's attacking that interior offensive line. The Eagles there, specifically the center position. No Kelsey. Let's go get it. Let's push Barkley off his marks and let's get Hurts out of that pocket. And so that's my X factor. And like you said, that's Brooks, that's Wyatt, that's Walker, and maybe blitzing someone in that A gap. So you have already kind of shared yours a little bit, but prediction for this game.
I hate doing predictions, right?
Or we don't have to do predictions. Maybe you want to predict a stat line instead?
Yeah, I can predict a stat line. Yeah, let's do that because I hate predicting sports. Every time I do, I'm always wrong.
Okay, let's predict stat lines then, man.
Okay. Stat line.
I'm going to say Josh Jacobs gets 20 touches. Because you know how LaFleur does, right? He never gives the running back like more than 20 carries. He just always be doing like he used to now with Jones. Maybe he does with Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say over 20 touches for Josh Jacobs, meaning that he's gonna have like maybe 18 rushes and he's gonna have like 6 catches, and he'll have a total of like maybe 120 yards from scrimmage with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. All right, I like that. Because I think a heavy dose of Jacobs in this game is what could lead to the win.
Yes.
Keep the Eagles offense off the field, long sustained drives. Soder, they're throwing out his X factor, McKinney, a real safety, going to change this whole defense, right? He's going to have that Nick Collins effect. We can only hope so.
Yeah.
And True North Packers fan was saying, I will take the 2 tight ends as the X factor for this game. I mean, those 2 tight ends could really open up this offense. And most hated Minnesotan says 2 touchdowns and 120 yards. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, no. I like that.
He sort of was thinking 9 receptions for Reed and 2 touchdowns. And, And I don't know if I want to share what my prediction is.
Because you're all about the predictions, so.
No, I think that it's going to be a shootout, I think this is one that we lose. But
you did. I was gonna say you're staying consistent with your original picks.
Yeah, and then I think we rattle like 8, 9 off in a row after this. So don't think that I'm being this big Debbie Downer if I'm the pessimistic guy. I'm not. I just think, the defense, I just don't think we're going to see we might get our 2 turnovers. We're going to see some big plays by the defense. Yeah. But then we're going to see things that might haunt us of Terrell Owens getting that. He caught the ball for the Eagles and the Niners and those crazy first downs, right?
Yeah.
But anyways,
that was Freddie Mitchell, wasn't it?
Freddie Mitchell for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
4th and 26 or whatever it was.
Yeah. 4th and 28, I think. Whatever it was, man. I'm trying to forget it. But I think we're going to be frustrated a couple times, big times. There's going to be a couple drives where we get really frustrated with this defense because they got to figure it out, folks.
I agree.
Hey, man, I guess we can just slide right into any last words.
I am just, like I said, I can't believe that it's already week 1 and that, I got 2 more drafts left. I got a draft tonight. I got a draft tomorrow, and then I'm ready for Thursday night football, man. And I just can't wait to start seeing real football again. And I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been a long time coming. This year went by really, really, really fast. You got the U.S. Open, and dude, I'm just hyped, man. I'm just really ready for the season to start, and I'm really hoping that it has a feel of a special season this year. I'm really hoping that comes true for us.
Yeah, I hope so too. Some last words here. Just want to shout out to Caleb. Hey, Bernie, can't wait to see you for the draft next year in Green Bay. I'm going to be I'm going to be there and going to meet up with Caleb. Nice. Caleb says predictions: Packers win Super Bowl. And for this Friday night, most hated Minnesota says 3 turnovers for the defense. Book it. Okay. If they get three, it's a Packers W.
Hell
all right?
Yeah.
And I will be wrong with my prediction then. P. Soder says, do the Packers win this on a walk-off field goal? That would be one hell of a way to start a career with Green Bay as a kicker, especially after what we've just gone through.
Yes.
Yeah. But hey, before we go though, just remember this episode is dedicated to this legend right here. If just remember, go look at TundraTownClothingCo.etsy.com. Use our discount code Game On Wisconsin. Get that discount.
Don't pay full price. Get that discount, dog. Come on now.
Always remember that the Bears still suck.
Damn right. Let me get my
So if
shit.
you want any of those shirts I showed at the beginning, or this Bear Sucks shirt,
Yep.
or this legendary
Or
shirt,
you
right?
want to keep
This
it
is the man.
vintage? You want to keep it vintage? Here you go,
Yeah.
baby. That's what I'm saying. They got some good stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie. It feels good and it looks good. I mean, hey, end of the day, anything that has Green Bay on it, you can't lie.
100% cotton, printed in Green Bay. I'm gonna nail that down, man, because
You got it. You go get it.
I love that stuff, man. And so hey, we are gonna be we're gonna be doing a post game
Yes.
show, right? So
Yes.
so after Friday night, night, we will be back here after the game, breaking it down post game. We might have a guest or two as well joining us, do a little Robin. But that's what we got for you. Go enjoy that game Friday night. You can enjoy Thursday night's game
why
too,
not?
I
Come on
guess.
now.
But
Yeah,
the football season really starts Friday night, though.
It does. It does. But, we got to see who our opponent might be in the Super Bowl, so we might as well check out Thursday night, right? So nothing wrong with that.
Hey, thanks for the listen. We'll see you post game, or we'll catch you next week on our normal time on Monday. And as always, go Pack, go.
Go Pack.